Acclaimed director Danny Boyle is reportedly incorporating an unconventional piece of technology into how he is proacting the filming for his long-awaited horror return in 28 years later. Boyle's 2002 feature starred Cillian Murphy as a comatose man who awakens to find that the United Kingdom has been ravaged by a virus, turning those who contract it into savage and mindless rage-driven zombies. Set to release in 2025, 28 years later will see Murphy star alongside Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Jodie Comer, Ralph Fiennes, Jack O'Connell, Aaron Kellyman and Edvin Riding as newcomers to the franchise. Filming wrapped on 28 years later in July. Now, Wired is reporting that the sequel saw Boyle choose to capture the footage for the movie on an unconventional device compared to most recent large-scale productions. Throughout filming, rather than relying on modern digital film cameras, Boyle opted to utilize iPhone 15s with modified hardware, lenses, and cages to capture the footage for the movie. While the production may be utilizing unconventional technology, longtime Boyle collaborator Anthony "D.O.D." Mantle returns to the franchise and reunites with the director for the first time since 2002 to act as cinematographer for the 2025 sequel. What we know about 28 years later. The original crew will kickstart a new horror trilogy. Alongside Boyle, Murphy, and Mantle, 28 years later will also see Alex Garland return to pen the sequel alongside the director after having just acted as producer on the 2007 sequel 28 weeks later. Production on the movie kicked off on May 7 in Northumberland, before wrapping on July 29, just over a year ahead of its June 20 release in 2025. Despite its lengthy development that lasted over 17 years, 28 years later is only the start of a new 3-act story, as a fourth film is in development. With Candyman's Nia DaCosta helming the sequel, titled 28 Years Late Part 2, The Bone Temple, it is currently planned to be filmed back-to-back with Boyle's movie, with the director and Garland entering producer roles. Our thoughts on Danny Boyle's 28 years later camera choice. The director may be hoping to recapture the original movie's tone. While Boyle's camera of choice for 28 years later may be unconventional, it isn't too out of line with what Boyle has previously contributed to the franchise. The original 28 Days Later used smaller Canon XL1 digital cameras throughout its production, as the devices were more maneuverable within the original movie's fast-paced filming schedule. As such, the video quality for most of its runtime is closest to that of an early 2000s British television drama as opposed to other contemporary films of the day. Though the camera quality may differ, 28 Days Later's rougher digital footage adds a level of realism to the movie, making it feel grounded and closer to life when compared to what a highly polished capture would be. As such, not only does it stand out visually, but the raw digital footage helps emphasize the horror of the scenario, leaving its sole use of footage captured on film in 28 Days Later's ending all the more poignant. As such, Boyle's camera of choice on 28 years later may show the director is trying to recapture a similar effect once more.